Hola a todos, buenos días. Bienvenidos a este webinar llevado a cabo en colaboración con Poli.design, una de las mejores universidades en Italia en materia de diseño, arquitectura y muchas otras disciplinas. El día de hoy tenemos este webinar, entonces, pues bueno, les agradezco. La intervención será en inglés. Al final daremos unos 15 minutos para preguntas y respuestas, entonces igual, cualquier duda que tengan, siéntanse con la libertad de preguntarle a Francesco Bombardi, pueden escribirlo en el chat y al final lo estaremos leyendo. Y bueno, ahora cedo la palabra a Sofía para que les presente un poco más de lo que es Poli.design, puedan conocer más de la escuela y posteriormente ella estará cediendo la palabra al ponente. Gracias por acompañarnos.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you all for being here today. I'm very happy to have this chance. I would like to thank Claudia and the entire Chamber of Commerce in Mexico for giving us this possibility to participate in Encuentro Creativo for the second time. So Poli.design is always happy to share its knowledge and to meet new international students. We have a very international community here in Milan, and we have more than 25 masters, specializing masters, and about 20 executive courses in English and Italian covering several disciplines of design. Feel free to visit our website to have a better understanding of them. And today we're very happy to be here with Professor Francesco Bombardi, who is the co-director of our Master in Design for Food, and he will be giving us a talk today. He will be presenting the master and explaining to us how to approach new challenges for a better food global system. And before starting, I just would like to remind you that we reserved a special discount for you, a minus 15% of the total tuition fee of the master if you'd like to register. You will receive an email with more information. So I will give the stage to Francesco. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia, and thank you, Claudia, for this nice opportunity to share and present to you the Specializing Master Design for Food. Before starting, I would like to share my screen. Okay, you should see. Here we are. The Specializing Master Design for Food. First of all, what do we mean with the design for food? Because actually it is a very generic definition, so we can have many answers, but too many answers are difficult to find one. So I'm happy to be able to share with you my personal idea of design for food, which is representative of the idea of design for food of Poli.design, which is the school that I'm representing today. So talking about design for food, I like to use this image, which is the image of a land, a wonderful wonderland, I would say, which is called Terra di Cuccagna. It's Cuccagna land. It's a magnificent, fantastic idea of a fantastic word, and this is an idea belonging to many different cultures. And in this idea, everything around people is edible. So you can eat anything from fruits to vegetables, but also any materials that you have around you is edible. So in this idea, you have no problem of feeding and collecting food, and it's a sort of all day and night party like eating, no? So it's a funny, in a way, vision of the world, fantastic, a sort of dream, but you could probably feel that there is something, this topic, something a little bit wrong on this idea, and that could turn the dream into a nightmare. So this is exactly my idea, our idea of the responsibility of the food designer in applying the good choices on the food system, just to be able to keep our world a dream and not becoming a nightmare. So this, it's very clear that nowadays we have a very high responsibility on deciding how to innovate and how to keep going with the industry and the chains of food, just to be able to challenge the new topics and the new needs that we are facing for the future. So to be able to be in time and update on the very quick evolution of this world, which is very full of new technology, applications and new services and new kind of life and way of life which are connected to an idea of food, we need a new approach. So the new approach that we are deciding to take into the specializing master is taking advantage from a new collaboration, which is a very original situation, and I would say unique, where we are mixing the Polytechnical School of Politecnico di Milano and Poli.design, which is a school, traditional school, very old, which was originally dealing with engineering and architecture and design, and the science, gastronomic science university in Pollenzo, which is dealing more with the gastronomic feeling and sensibility. So the master is mixing these two different schools, and this is, I would say, the recipe that is important to explain to you, which is supporting the students with competence coming from different disciplines. So this mix of experience would provide a new knowledge for the students and the participants according to the needs that we have to face in the challenge of the future. So we are talking about design, we are talking about food engineering, but we are talking about nutritional facts and technology applied with nutritional needs and the sensorial experience, which are very much connected to the experience of food that we are very fond of. So the board is just to have a quick presentation, is made by Stefano Maffei, myself, and Franco Fassio, representing the two different schools that I presented to you. And the board is a very important structured board made by Anna Meroni, which is an architect and PhD in design, full professor of design, deputy dean of the School of Design of Politecnico di Milano, Nicola Perullo, Italian philosopher and academic, full professor of aesthetic at the University of Gastronomic Science in Pollenzo, Giulia Menichetti, senior researcher, scientist full at the Network Science Institute at Northeastern University, and Fabio Parasecoli, full professor, nutrition and food study department at the New York University. So this is the board, and these are the goals of the school. So the master aims to train new figures, new experts, able to integrate different capabilities. So the originality of this study course is just to be able to collect in the same place at the same time people from all over the world, inspired by many topics coming from different disciplines, because we think that the strategic design approach is fundamental for facing the new challenge for the food chain system. And so we are expecting that the participants will be able to understand and design the territorial impact of food supply chain. So it's very important to have the feeling of the place where the product is produced, and the different value and of the chain which are impacted by the dynamics of the food chain, and also use theoretical and critical skills to define design opportunities, design a complex solution, product, service, communication space, and also the capability of managing all phases of the process from the conception to the development and the management, I would say, of the solution that are provided. So as for the structure of the master, we have considered to start with the analysis and understanding of the main elements that characterize the current food system. So this is a part where which is more theoretical, but then we go quite quickly to the acquisition of techniques and tools for designing through experimentation and hands-on experience, and I will tell you more about this later. Then at the end of this process, we are going through an internship in companies, agencies, institutions in Italy or abroad, where you can test the knowledge and your experience directly working with the company in the market, so facing the quotidianity of the challenge of food, new food system. And then we have the final thesis with the discussion of what we have learned and what in particular you, the students, have learned also from the internship experience. As for the topics of the study course, you can see the hybridation of disciplines, which is the original touch of this kind of master, where we are trying to mix the design area with the gastronomic science area, with the food engineering area. You can't find this mixture anywhere else, I tell you, because we have been studying many different kind of school for design for food all over the world, and most of them are dealing with gastronomic science or design or food engineering, but it's very difficult to get all these competence close to each other, connected to each other. So as for design, I mean food product design, food service design, I would add food packaging design, which is important, but also systemic design, because the master is dealing with an idea, systematic idea of the food environment. So it's not just the product, but the product inside the scenario where we are dealing with the global impact of all the networks, all the net of the chain system. As for gastronomic science, we mean, for example, nutrition and food safety, food aesthetics and communication, food and taste science, sensory analysis, for example, foraging and ethnobotany, and food system data science, and to end up with food engineering competence, which is a matter of management and knowing the principle and process of food manufacturing, for example, food logistics. So we can't face the new challenges without having a bit of all this knowledge coming from different disciplines that makes any solution that we are proposing realistic and really impacting into the world. So just to have a quick show for you of how it works and what is the experience that we are living in every day. This is our approach in the teaching modules. So for example, I just give you some quick spot, food branding and narrative. We have food service design, We have food product design. So you can see also the ergonomy, which is not a frontal education, but it's a very experimental with using different kind of modes and attitudes and tools and technology to start the exploration on many topics that we want to understand. Food aesthetics and communication, sensory analysis and food technology for quality food. These are some picks from the last master. Novel food entrepreneurship, also checking around, and we try to be always updated with what's happening around the world, and just to take into the master the last, the new proposal and startups also, and idea of business according to new solution for food. And then we go to a very important area of the master, which is the workshop area. So in after the theoretical part, we try our knowledge and our ability in choosing some challenges from companies. So every company who is holding the workshop is sharing a question, sharing a challenge for a vision for the future normally, or for some new markets, or for some new tools or new gesture that they want to apply to a possible evolution of their production. And so this is a very applicative part of the workshop, very intense and interesting, I would say, because the participant works 2 weeks very much connected to the company, and they are observed as possible innovators, and to give a new vision, a lateral vision to the company according to their culture of provenance of where you are coming from, and according to your skill and what you learn in the theoretical part, which is the first part of the master. So we have, just to give you some names, Garofalo pasta. It's historic. It's an historical pasta producer from Italy, and you should find Garofalo pasta in Mexico. I suggest to you listening to try the Garofalo pasta, which is one of the best. And I tell you because I know also how they produce and how they love their work, and they love to choose the best products and the best process to make it. Also Lavazza, which is dealing, you know, Lavazza for coffee, but we are working also with council. So every city, big city has got a food policy, and we have been discussing and taking some challenges from the city food policy of Milan, for example. We have been working last year with Barilla. You know, Barilla is quite famous, also a producer of pasta and also many other products. And the Comune in another city, which is Reggio Emilia in Italy, designing a scenario, a sort of big area master plan of 20 hectares to give an idea of possible evolution of a sort of an agri-tech park. So you see that we are going from the product to a service to big scenarios and policy. This is what we need, what we mean when we want to build a new figure, a new character, a new protagonist, there's a food designer protagonist for the challenge of the future, being able to respond, to answer to many different questions coming from the world of food, and being able also to find many possibilities also for business, for working, for getting a job after the master. So another important step, which is almost the last in the workshop, is the study trips. So we are dedicating some weeks to explore very important territories in Italy, and we have been choosing, for example, Piedmont and Emilia-Romagna, which are very rich regions in Italy, producing many important food products. And so we have studied trips in the University of Pollenzo, gastronomic science. We have the possibility to make us very strange, I would say, but also interesting, original, I would say, experience on field with foraging and ethnobotany. We had the possibility to use and experience the food lab in Pollenzo, with the sensory lab in Pollenzo. How does it work? You can make it and see how it works and be protagonist also in using this kind of tool, but also being on field, being in the middle of what's happening for the product. For example, Lambrusco is a kind of grapes producing a special wine, but also different kind of products that you can go and visit on field, talk with the producer, make questions, stay there, taste, understand the reality of what's happening around this product before they starting for the trip chain to the table. Parmigiano Reggiano, I just show you some of the place where we have been in the last two years. Parmigiano Reggiano is a famous cheese. Also balsamic, traditional balsamic vinegar, which is a traditional product from Emilia Romagna, and so on. I would say that as for the outcomes after this kind of experience, 1 year long, we are expecting that you can get some opportunities. The participants can get opportunities, and they could find a place with an important position as a research and development food project manager, as product designer in the food and service field, working as food brand manager, or decide to start his own business as a startup or entrepreneur, or becoming a consultant or food innovation specialist. I can say that looking back to the first and second edition, because you must know that we are ready to start the third edition of the master starting on January. So according to the data of the first 2 years, we had 67% of participants from abroad and 33 from Italy. So just to give you an idea that the class is an international class where you can learn from each other, and you can share different kind of culture and approaches. And this is the very plus of also the proposal that we can define at the end of the master, also giving us a great expectation from companies we are working with, like for example during the workshop. As for the educational backgrounds, we had many designers or people coming from business economy, but also gastronomic field, food science and technology, food engineering, some architects, or some people coming from the agricultural science, but also different kind of, you can see we are collecting different kind of skills and competence, and this is very important to us, just to provide very multidisciplinary groups that can really face difficult challenge from many points of view. And this is very important also. I know that we have not many data yet because we are just at the third edition, but we counting our participants, our students, the 90% of the participants of the master till now, from what we know, but this is an evolution. Maybe we had reached the 100%. I hope are employed after the master. Some of them keep working with the company they met for the internship, and the job position are mostly on the design, research and development area, but also marketing and management. And many of them keep deciding to work on the food company or food tech startup. And this is, I would say, our best satisfaction to see that people participating to this very intense experience in Italy can find the satisfaction also from the point of view of their job, and they could decide to stay in Italy or to choose for a different area in the world where they can get an opportunity with big companies to work with. This is always all. This is all, and I hope I was clear enough. But I invite you to make any questions, and I would be happy to answer to any of your doubts. Thank you very much. This is a last slide, and then Sophia could help me in giving you more details. So as to be able to provide all this richness in the experience, like I showed to you, we have not many places available, so it's important to use the right time for inscription. Also, because you have a reduction, as Sophia said. So the cost, the full cost is 16,500 euro, but you can have a very important reduction, and the deadline is very closed. So if you are interested and you are curious, you want to know more about details, and you want to book some a conversation also with us in private, please decide to do it quickly, because the time is running. Thank you very much, and I hope you can join us in Politecnico di Milano in Milan very soon. But I will leave the stage to Sophia and Claudia if they want to add anything else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Francesco. It was an interesting session. I hope that some of the people that had joined us this morning are interested, can contact directly to Poli.design in order to take this master. I don't know if some of the attendees have any questions. Maybe you can put it on the chat, and we're going to read it for Francesco. And Sophia, I don't know that in the meantime, do you want to add something about Poli.design?
Sure. So Francesco already explained the application procedure. We do have a deadline, and the application can take a couple of weeks because you will have to submit a few documents. It's a postgraduate program, so you need to be already graduated on a relevant university. And then you will have to do an interview in English. Also, you know, the master is going to be in English, so the language needs to be tested. And then, of course, the revision of the portfolio and the CV. But this is something that is true for every master, I guess. So the procedure works like this. And there are also some more important reduction, as you could see from Francesco's last slide. And these are entitled for people who are eligible. But of course, you can just try and get the 50% discount, which is the most intriguing one, I guess. But also with the 15% discount that has been reserved for you, it's already something like a huge help, I guess. I don't know if anyone is willing to ask anything about the master or some specific aspects of it, or even about other masters or the application procedure. Just feel free to type it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Sophia. I don't know if also you can put on the chat your email in case someone of their students are interested about this discount that you are offering. And I think we don't have any questions. We don't have any questions here in the chat. I don't know if some of the attendees are trying to figure out the question. But if you agree, Sophia and Francesco, we can close the webinar in here. hoping that the students can contact directly Sophia in order to have further information about the program.
Sure. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Francesco, for your insightful presentation, and thank you everyone for attending. I just would like to remind you that we have a third and last session of this Encuentro Creativo with Poli.design. It's going to be next Tuesday. It's about the Premium Design Management Master, and it's going to be at the same time. So feel free to register for that too. I hope to see you soon in Milan.
Perfect. Thank you to all for joining us and have a good day. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.